James, just how did you spend your bye week?
I got back to Minnesota, went and got to see my high school play for the first time since I've been there, and just spent some time taking care of my body and relaxing, eating some good food from my mom, and hanging out.
How important is that to just be able to get away and mentally recharge?
Yeah, it's nice, especially since we have it over fall break. Everybody else is off campus, so sometimes when you're stuck here and have to be practicing when everybody else is gone, and it kind of breaks routine. It's been nice that they've aligned those things, the two of those events over the past couple of years. So just to be able to get out of here and have a couple days to yourself and fully get your body back and your legs back and relax your mind a little bit.
Did you guys need this one more than previous ones because of the way this season has gone, just mentally?
Every season has their own twist. Some years guys are more beat up than others. Some years, some younger guys need a little bit more of a mental break. So I think every year it's very beneficial.
When you look at where you guys are at 2-5, a lot of people wonder what you guys are motivated by at this point in the year. What do you feel is the motivation to keep this team pushing forward?
For me, just pushing the defense every week just to get a win. We have a lot of great competitors on that side of the ball and on the team as a whole. And, I think it's important just for everybody to stay focused on getting a win every single week and focusing on our opponent and continuing to compete at the highest level.
How hungry is this team for a win?
Extremely. I think we were, close to a win last week or 2 weeks ago and, didn't end the way we wanted it to, but we competed at a high level, and that's a great team as well, but we just got to find a way to pull out a win here.
And lastly for me, yesterday Coach Kelly talked about kind of being disappointed that it's gotten to the point where Jack Swarbrick had to kind of give him an endorsement for his job moving forward. As a player, is there a disappointment that for you guys that it's gotten to the point where those things also have to be said?
Yeah, nobody's happy with where we are at this point, including, Coach and Jack and everybody. It's tough, but, we're all working together, and, we all want to do well. We want to do well for Coach, and Coach wants to coach to the best of his ability to make sure that we're in a position to do the best that we can. So we're all trying to work together, and although, we're not all comfortable with where we are, the only thing we can do is work harder, and like I said, just fight to get that win.
James, can you describe Brad Kaya, the Miami quarterback, what you've seen from him?
Yeah, I've gotten to watch him a little bit. He's experienced, one of the most experienced we've seen. Has a pretty good presence in the pocket, can work their offense fairly well. But, as we saw last week, he can get pressured a little bit, and we'll scramble out of there and try to make some plays himself. So, he's a good player. Excited to play him.
Not necessarily one of the more mobile quarterbacks that you're facing this year. Would that be accurate?
Now, we've seen some speedier guys, some quicker guys, a little bit more mobile, like you said. But, again, he's a guy that will try to make some plays and make what he can out of a broken-down play.
Comparison, contrasting to Deshaun. Is there any? Do you look at them in any way similar?
Not really. I get to see DK every day, so he's picked up on some of my tendencies as well. So DK is a great quarterback. I don't know if I can really compare the two.
Not necessarily mobility, but in terms of just throwing the football, you don't.
Of throwing the football?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if I can really compare the two.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Do you think the defense's confidence is up now with the success you've had the past few weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every week we've just tried to focus on getting better, like I've been saying for weeks now, getting some of these younger guys more and more confidence as they continue to get more time on the field, and I think that continues to show. We go out there and try to get as many stops as we can and get the opponent off the field. So,
What would you say the strength is right now? What are you confident that you're able to do, most weeks?
I think we've improved on third down. We want to continue to, keep that efficiency there and continue to stop these teams on third down. We've gotten much better there. And then also just improving first and second down, trying to get teams, in a situation that we can be successful on third down. And then also just continuing to push the guys to get to the ball. Everybody getting to the ball helps on the run game. And then, like I said, gets them in a situation on third down that is beneficial to us.
And this series was one time, one of the most heated in the country. Did the coaches talk to you at all about that, or are you guys aware that this was, one time, the game that everybody looked for?
Yeah, I think some of us are aware of that. I'm one of the older guys on the team, and I haven't played them. Last time we played them was the year before I got here. So I think a lot of guys, have an idea of that, but haven't had a firsthand experience of what the rivalry really means to the school and also on their side of things. But yeah, I think some guys have a good idea, and especially with the coaches in our defensive room who've experienced a little bit of that rivalry, they speak on it a little bit.
Thank you.
What's that? Yeah. So the transcription.
James, as a captain in dealing with adversity, what have you learned about leadership?
That's a good question. It's definitely been one of the greatest challenges I've faced in my life, and I've learned a lot from it. I think one thing that I've learned the most from is just how to keep guys motivated and keep them focused on what our goal is. Even through the toughest of times, to keep guys to come out and work every day and, to keep a smile on my face. I think that has a great impact on, what the mood is going into everyday's work and everyday's practice. As long as my energy is high and a smile's on my face, I think guys around me are willing to work.
Has that translated into off the field, into the classroom as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think, they go hand in hand. If you're doing well in school, you're probably going to be playing pretty good ball, and it just means you're on top of your stuff. And, I try to keep that also, in the minds of some of the guys in the defensive room, just so that they're on point in all aspects, making sure that their schoolwork's good and on point so that they can focus on ball when it comes time.
Anybody else? All right, Steve.
James, I think Deshaun mentioned when he was home, he caught the Miami-Virginia Tech game on TV. Did you watch that?
I didn't catch it, no.
Okay.
Watched some film, but.
I guess. I was going to ask, I guess maybe other times then, when you're watching a game like on TV and from that angle, are you specifically just watching the offense? Are you getting the same things that you would, when you're breaking down film, or do you kind of relax and, I guess, devolve back into like a fan mindset and you're just kind of watching the flow of the game?
Yeah, it's tough, since you spend so much time watching film, although it is a different cut up and you have commentators and, it's a different view. It's still tough to watch a football game from strictly a fan's perspective. I watch the defense and see what they're doing against. It doesn't really matter. I watch both sides of the ball, but I watch both defenses to see, what they're doing, see what players are making mistakes, see what went wrong in their plays. And that's fun to me as well. You can relax a little bit, when you're on your couch. It's not the same as sitting in the film room, taking notes and really being critical of the film. But yeah, you can relax a little bit, but still tough as a player to fully relax.
And then you just mentioned that some of the coaches defensively are sort of trying to impart part of what this rivalry means and everything. Is Coach Hudson, he was his sort of MO or whatever was bringing energy, and he was around the time where that was pretty heated.
Mm-hmm.
Just what specifically has been his message, I guess, or has he addressed that at all?
Yeah, he's spoken on it a little bit, and him and I talked about it a little bit yesterday after practice. But in the beginning of the week, his main message has just been the only you that matters is you and what you're going to do to help the University of Notre Dame this week. And I think that's what's really resonated with me and a lot of guys on the defense is that, you know, we're the only guys that can really impact this game and are the only guys that matter. So.